Is a live demo the only good demo? I would suggest that sometimes the live demo is the wrong demo. That might be if you're doing an executive presentation. They don't want to see your drop-down boxes and how you set things up. They want to know what the results are going to be. Maybe you don't have a product or demo expert there. Or you're doing a discovery where the prospect has said, well, really, I don't want to do discovery. I only want you to show me the product. And most of the time, we don't want to do that because getting into the weeds doesn't get us the information that helps us sell. Those are good reasons to do a PowerPoint presentation that is your demo. But we don't want to be boring. Usually what we do is we bring up the whole screen and we will use something like arrows, circles, maybe even dynamic circles to try to focus people's attention. But all that detail is in the background, so the focus is not as strong as if we were to use some other techniques, and I would like to show you one of those. Let's see if we can do the PowerPoint presentation demo without being too boring. We'll start with the screen, as you would if it were a live demo, but let's now focus the audience's attention on one specific area. And we're using a PowerPoint technique called morphing. So we're going to cause the presentation to take the audience's eyes and minds to a specific area. Then you can take them to the next thing you want to talk about. You're not limited on where that might be on the screen. And add in whatever text makes sense to you if you want to use that. Here we go, another section. Still on the same basic screen, but we are moving the audience's eyes and minds around. Using morphing doesn't keep you from using other PowerPoint presentation techniques. You might very well want to bring their attention to something and then highlight it even more, possibly with making it larger. And you can still use all the other techniques that you would have used on the big screen where I said they'd be boring if it was just arrows and circles. Well, here, by all means, bring in another technique. Use the arrows, use the circles, as long as it adds to the impact of what you're trying to show. Here we are, back at the original screen. You can do whatever you need to do here, but you were able to move the audience's eyes and minds to the parts that you cared about, and you didn't get caught in the weeds. Uh-oh, somebody wants you to show them how. You've been asked to go into the live system, and you don't want to leave the impression that you're trying to hide something because you're not. So give yourself a safety net, whether it is a link that goes right from PowerPoint slides into your live session, or what we did in one big presentation at one point was the sales team wanted to be the ones doing the presentation, but I said, please do not take a chance on them asking for the system and you can't show it. So we did have a sales engineer there with the system up and running, and he followed along. He knew where they were in the presentation. So when that was asked, they switched over to his system, showed it, and the safety net was in effect. Then they could go back to doing their presentation. Salesperson is still doing it. They're still managing what is shown. So get yourself a safety net, but don't rely too heavily on the live system.